Okay, everybody, I'm going to try to just dive into what the Lord's been showing me. There are so many things that I was really wondering where to start, and Lord's not given me all the pieces to this part of the puzzle yet, and I'm still working on it, but I feel like I'm starting to get overwhelmed with the amount of information, so it's time to go ahead and start putting out some bits and pieces here and there as I'm receiving it, and hopefully I can do this in a way that it makes sense as He gives it to me, and we'll put it together. How's that? But first, I want to show you, the Lord has taken me to the book of Nehemiah, and right now we are in chapters 12 and 13. But see, I want to lay a little groundwork on this. I had, after we finished up with the last video, where it was still speaking about the delusions and the lies, Satan's deceptions, I asked the Lord, because I felt like, I didn't get into in depth on those things. It was like touch the surface on these things and showed some scriptures so that people are aware, because God, I believe, is very clear about the fact that we don't have time to get in depth right now, because time is running short, and so He just wants the information out and not dig in deep in all the different directions. Just put out the surface information He's given so that people are aware. Okay, I was asking the Lord what I was going to do next, because it wasn't clear to me, and I thought I had gotten into scripture and I thought I knew where He was taking me, but it didn't feel right, and I said, Lord, what is it? What do you want me doing? I'm just not clear. It's not clear to me, and I was learning in what He was showing me, but it didn't feel like it was the direction that I needed to be going in. And anyway, I prayed on it for another day. And I also included in my prayer about this, what we've been seeing a lot of mention about November 28th and Thanksgiving. And so I didn't know exactly what was going on with that, and if it was from the Lord for certain. I mean, I know, people say they get things from the Lord, but we are to discern it. So I was asking the Lord about it, okay? And I asked Him if there was something significant about the time of Thanksgiving, would He show it to me? And would He show me either way, if there was or there wasn't, so I would have clarity on it, okay? And so this was on Saturday night. And so when I opened my Bible Sunday morning, the very first thing that I come to was Nehemiah chapter 12 and 13. Well, as I started reading, God made it very clear to me that the very first verse, let me tell you, the very first verse I read, because the Bible that I picked up, this Bible is not the same Bible that I picked up and opened to. And now keep in mind, I don't look for stuff. I just close my eyes and open the Bible, and I let God guide me where He wants me to go, because that way I feel like I've not had any influence in what scripture I've ended up in. I try to leave that to the Lord. But anyway, the other Bible that I read in for just reading, this is the one that I mark things and study in and all that. But the other Bible, the very first verse at the top of the page when I opened it up was this right here. Nehemiah 12:27, and it says, "And at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of all their places to bring them to Jerusalem to keep the dedication with gladness, both with thanksgiving and with singing, and with cymbals and psalteries, and with harps. Okay, that verse, when I read that verse, I was like, what did that just say? So I read it again. And at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of all their places to bring them to Jerusalem, to keep the dedication with gladness, and with thanksgiving, and with singing, with cymbals, psalteries, and with harps. Okay, what God smacked me in the face with here is they were keeping, this was to keep the dedication. Okay, and it goes on to say to keep it with gladness, both with thanksgiving and singing. So this is talking about, singing is praising the Lord, okay? So this is talking about with thanksgiving and praise. So here we see that this scripture is talking about how they're wanting to keep the dedication. Okay, right here, y'all got to see this. Right here we've got the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah, and also the Feast of Lights. It's all the same event. Right here, connected with Thanksgiving. Do you see this? Do you see this? And they both fall on the same day this year, okay? I just found this utterly amazing, okay? Now, I'm going to cut this off right here and pick up, because I don't want these running so long they take forever to load. So I'm going to cut this off, and I'll be back, and we'll pick up on this thought, dedication, Feast of Dedication, and Thanksgiving, about to commence on the same date. Okay, I'll be right back.